Hello there and welcome back to episode 2 of the Factorio Let's Play series. So in this episode we're going to be carrying on from where we were last time, and we're going to try and push and get a lot more in terms of automation on the go. Now I want to start off by thanking Sky0 for his comments in the previous video. They were really helpful, and in fact the first thing we're going to do is actually put some of those things into practice. So I'm going to set up some miners and sort out the automation of coal, and just one at a time I want to try and get some of the basic early ingredients automated so that we are better prepared. Now, I know one of the comments that Skyo had mentioned is that we can put two miners back to back into each other, so just by the same logic we should be able to make a loop here which will then feed into itself, and then we shouldn't have to come near coal again because these should feed themselves. Now let's just make sure we haven't got any coal left. Stick some in here, and then I think as that mines it should feed into that, that should feed into that, should feed into that, and the cycle continueth. Yeah, that seems to be working. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that and just make sure it is. Now, one of the other suggestions was that we could put this straight into a furnace, which is handy, and we'll do that probably in just a second. Now, if you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell if you want to be kept up to date with notifications on the series, and you can then see when I upload videos for this series. And if you're just checking out this video for Factorio, but you also play other games like Minecraft, do check out the other videos that I make. Now, coal is set up, and that was an excellent tip, so thank you Skyo for that. Now I do know you can press Alt to see what things are being produced by factories. I was aware of that one, but I probably will use that more as things get more and more complicated, but for now I do quite like it just seeing the sprites for things. Now we are going to need to get some power sorted out, and one of the things that I did in my last video, or after my last video, was when I had a look at a couple of little tips and tricks. I didn't want to get myself too far in tips and tricks videos because I don't really want to ruin the sort of exploration part of the game, but I did go and have a look at some of the sort of shortcuts that might just make viewing a little bit easier. So fingers crossed that makes this a little bit better. And the other thing I'm going to focus on, just from a viewer point of view, is trying to get some torches set out as quickly as possible, just so you can actually see what's going on, because I am aware that at night time it can be very dark and it'd be quite difficult to see what's going on, so let's get that on the way. Okay, so we've got some cursory steel going, but we're going to need a lot more in terms of mining going on here, so let's see if we can get some electricity sorted. So we need to get some pipes for this, which means we need some more plates. Now we should have plenty of plates for now. Fantastic. And we've got a steam engine, we've got a pump, and we can get 2 steam engines per pump. So let's do that. And what I want to do is underground pipes. I want to bring the water over here so that then I've got the coal supply next to the steam engine, and that way I'm not going to have to keep running over, because when I was playing around on that 2-hour episode I did find that I had to run to the water a lot, and that just took a lot of time. So hopefully I can daisy chain these pipes over from the generators over to the base, and then I won't have to worry about running back and forward over here. Although we're not a million miles away from the water in this episode, so or in this series, so that's not too much of a problem. But let's just see how we get on. So we need pipe to ground. Now I believe these can span a gap of about 10, so it shouldn't actually require that many, and I think we just... yeah, fantastic. Now I know that we can click and hold to run, but I'm not entirely sure where I want them in my base yet, so for now let's just try and daisy chain these a little bit like this. Okay, now how many of these are we going to need? We're going to need a lot more pipes, and for the pipes we're going to need more plates. Not really surprising. I will ramp up the iron production fairly shortly because I know that that is something that we need a lot of in the early game. So let's get some more of these made. Okay, now I'm not entirely sure whether I'm better off just leaving these as they are and then running a separate coal line off the automation, or if there's some sort of way that I could... I suppose there's not really a way I can break this daisy chain. I can't have some coming off into a chest. This is just going to be my early game production, but then we are going to have electricity, so I can just put an electric miner here, and then that can feed into the water system. Okay, so let's get this going up here, and I think I'll just put this down at the bottom of the coal just so it's sort of out of the way and the power is down here. So we need this, yeah. So stick that there, and then we need the boiler to go into that. So that's going to take the water. Then we need the steam engine to come off that. And I believe we can put another steam engine on the top of that like that. And weirdly, and this bit really confuses me, I don't understand why, well, I sort of do understand, I suppose this is the grid, so now they're connected to the grid. But it seems a bit weird that they're not connected to power when they're the things that are making the power. So, boiler is funded, we've got some power. Now let's make sure that we've actually got some coal going into this. So, what would be the best way of doing that? I think maybe just an electric miner. I mean, I suppose if I'd put the drill here, if I'd put the pump here, then we probably could have just put it straight into it. In fact, you know, I'm going to do that because I think that's probably a sensible thing to do, although this seems a bit of a waste. But as one of the videos I was watching the other day said, there is no such thing as something that is fixed in Factorio. You can easily move stuff about. Now I can't rotate. Perfect. There we go. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. It'll take a little bit of time, but you know, I'm very new to this game. So we want the boiler to be water in, steam out. So if we put it there, that shouldn't really interfere with too much else. Like that. And then, can we just stick a miner going into that? What do we need for that? Okay, let's get maybe a coal miner for now. Not enough ingredients. What do we need? Gears. Gears. Gears, we need plates. I really do need to ramp up this steel production. That is going to be the next job. Let's get steel sorted out because it is going to be obviously quite key and we don't have anything there. So get that powered up. And we need... Let's try and make our first electric mining drill actually for funding this. I don't know how much, probably not a great deal, can go into that, but... And I don't think I can fuel these maybe in the way that would be intuitive. Now that's 5.6k, so that's quite a lot, but that's 10k. Okay, I think this should work. Again, there's probably a lot of people who play this game a lot more than me who are sitting there sort of shaking their heads at me, but, you know, this seems logical. 48, fantastic. We have automated power. We have power at the start of the game, and I can just bring this up, although I will have to get rid of some of this coal first, I think. Is this just stopping because it doesn't need any more? Yes, because this isn't drawing anything. Fabulous. Okay, let's get some iron sorted. Need iron plates. And we are going to get some real production on the way now. Now, as I said, I want to try and keep things, you know, fairly quick moving, because I appreciate that it can be a little bit dull to sit and watch some of the sort of just waiting. So I don't know how I'm going to really achieve that in the later game. What I might do is start editing the videos a little bit more just to make sure that you're not sort of having to sit and watch something that takes place for hours. But again, let me know, you know, if you prefer to see, you know, sort of every step in the process, let me know. This is one of the first sort of let's play style videos I've done. I normally put quite a lot of time and effort into editing my videos, so I'm not afraid of doing editing. But if it's something that would sort of ruin the gameplay a little bit because you don't see things going on, then yeah, let me know in the comments, or just any other comments you have, because it's always good to actually hear what you guys think of the content. Okay, so now we have our first electric miner on the way, and that should up production at least. What was the rate of production for these? 0.25. Well, it'll double our mining speed. Okay, so let's really get this going. Now we're going to need some inserters, but I don't think I can get the next tier inserters until... Oh no, I can. Okay, so let's just maybe switch over to those fairly quickly. And I'll need to get another miner on this track, because I really do want to ramp up that production. Now this couldn't have circuits. What am I missing? Iron plates. Fantastic. Okay, now these first ones are going to be a little bit inefficient, but we should, hopefully as we move into the iron patch, get a hell of a lot more being produced. And let's get some of these. Now I'm going to have to go and get my copper sorted out next, I think, but one job at a time. and out of copper cable. And that came about sooner than I thought it would. Okay, let's get some of that sorted out. Telegraph poles. Okay, now I'm not entirely sure if... I will get the ratios over time. It'll take me a little bit of time to get the ratios down. But I'm not entirely sure what the sort of best ratio is of, say, arms to these. You know, would it be better to have 2 arms feeding into a furnace? I think... What can they shift? Does it tell me? No. Okay, it's just the rotation speed. But we've got... That is producing... Ah, what a noob. Okay, let's get some more steel plates. Iron plates. And telegraph poles. I realise what I just did. Okay, so if this is shifting out faster than it's going in, then obviously we're going to need 2 arms feeding it in. This is declining, so I believe we're going to need, yeah, we're going to need 2 arms feeding coal in, because there needs to be 1 ready for it to go, I think. We'll try it out, we'll test it out. As I said, this series is going to be a bit of a learning process, so if you are new to the game yourself, yeah, you'll see me learning, and that might help you. Or it might not. Let's try that out, and that out, and that out. Stick another telegraph pole in here somewhere. I think the spacing, I'm going to have to work on that spacing, because it doesn't seem to be, this doesn't seem to be a very good spacing. I mean, it might leave a gap between, say, every 2 furnaces to try and sort that out a little bit. Okay, and then we need to get some more of these on the go and try and get this stored a bit better. Now I know you can pick stuff up off the belts manually by like sort of, I think is it holding F, is it? Yes, you can run over stuff and pick stuff up, so that's quite handy. But I want to try and get stuff as automated as possible, because obviously that's the sort of whole point of the game. So let's get rid of that. Let's send this down here and across here. Now, as I see it, that should give me 2 different ways of getting in the chest. Really need to stop hitting the escape key to try and deselect stuff. Ah, okay. Now, I imagine what I'm probably going to end up doing is stop storing in chests at some point. I'm probably just going to have these belts running and then have things taking them off the iron belt, rather than me having to take it out of chests and put it into other places, which is probably a really obvious thing, but as I've said, I am learning. Holy crap, this is good. Skyo, you are a bit of a genius. This is a very efficient way of getting coal. And I'm very happy that I don't have to constantly empty it and refill it. Is this thing still happy? Looks like it. Maybe this is overkill. Maybe a coal-powered one would have done it. Fed by another coal-powered one. Fed by another coal-powered one. Fed by another... Yeah, I don't think that would have worked very well. Okay, so what have we got around us? Now, we did have stone an absolute mile away, but we don't need that just yet. Because we're in the desert, I think we do have that 15% speed damage buff, so it might be good to try and get some concrete sorted out at some point soon. Now, let's try and automate this next. So we need some telegraph poles. Now, we're not going to go to town, as as Skyo said, we only need 80% at the start for steel, or for iron, and about 20% for copper, so I'm not going to go mad with this. I'm just going to have 1 miner, couple of inserters up here, and let's bring the power up. Ridiculous. Okay, so hopefully, now, let's say we're also going to put this straight into the furnace, which is, what's that, 5.6k? That should be good. And then we'll get rid of that, get in an electric one. I don't think these do a massive drain on the resources, so on the power, so we shouldn't really worry about that. Now, we also need to make sure that these have actually got supply of coal, so that's the next job. Because I don't want to have to constantly refill things with coal, although it will seem quite easy to do that now. Is that fairly even? 50, 50, 50, 50. Yeah, we're getting this now. We're getting this. Okay, so let's try and get some coal sorted out. Now, I suppose there's two ways we could do this. We can make... So my understanding is that the arms will prioritize things that are on the far side of the belt. Or they'll always place items on the far side of the belt, but they'll prioritize stuff that's on the closer side to them. So, with that logic, we ideally need coal running down the inside of a belt and iron running down the outside of the belt. Or we could shift this whole lot and move it a little bit further away from the iron, but I don't think that's necessary. So what I could do is put some miners here, then feed a belt up to join that belt, which then will then put it on this side of the belt. But then these guys are outputting to both sides. So really what I need is some kind of belt. Okay, I've got this. Let's go like this. Can I run a belt over the top of that? It looks like I can. So if we go like this, then they're only going to feed onto this side of the belt. Then the coal we can add on to this belt, and then that will achieve the aim. Let's get rid of that and feed this. I think this needs to be fairly long so that then there can be a backlog on the furnaces. Like that. Now, I think that should all go down one side of the belt. Fantastic. I know this is probably Factorio 101 for other people. For me, I feel like a genius, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so let's go like that so we can get some more miners in there. Let's put an electric miner straight onto the belt maybe, because I don't think we're going to need that much coal. And I think the coal will probably just back up if I put too much onto the belt. But then maybe when we get the splitter things later, we can actually just take the coal off this belt and feed some so that the furnaces have got enough. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to project too far because, I mean, it could all go terribly wrong and I could just get killed by the natives. So let's not worry about that until we have to worry about it. Okay. Is this going to work? What are you mining? That looks like it's mining iron. It is mining iron. Let's not play that game. Coal. And shift that just a little bit further down. Fantastic. Okay, so now we should have, bar these weird ones here. Are they just going to get picked up? No, let's pick those up. I think there's a way of putting things back on the belt. I think it's Z. Okay. Come on, baby. You can do this. That is working the way I want it to. Fantastic, guys. We are pro at Factorio. Kinda pro. I mean, we've done the most basic of tasks in Factorio. I mean, in all honesty, I wouldn't know if this is basic or if this is advanced. I have no idea, but we're learning, and that's all that matters. Every day's a school day. Okay, let's get one of those in. Now, I imagine at some point we're probably going to automate the arms as well. I don't know if it's feasible or if it's sensible to just automate everything. I mean, I suppose that's, in my mind, that's the point of the game, but then maybe it's only the things that you need to produce. Maybe it's just the science and stuff like that. Are these all... Now, I don't know if these will refill when they empty. I quite like the idea of them having a bit of a stack in there, so I don't know if I should just manually do it. Now, also, these have stopped mining because I've run out of space within the miners by the looks of it. So I might just dump down a chest or two next to them, and we'll call that coal. And just, wait, there was a way of doing this with a shortcut. Fantastic. Excellent. And that coal's backing up just like I thought it would. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more furnaces in and ramp up this steel production even more. Or iron, I need to stop calling it steel. Okay. Let's go for 4 more of these. In fact, I'm going to try that spacing as well. I don't know if a power line will... Oh, hang on. If I put a space there and a space there, I can put a power line between them. That should power me for 2 furnaces. And then this one If I put one in between here, that should... Okay, yep. Yep. This is a big brain episode. A lot of learning going on here. Bring this across. And we need more of those arms. What do we need for those? Right, so I need to get some... Can I make automators yet? No. Okay, let's get some science on the go. First, we'll make sure we've got arms on these, which requires plates and circuits. Now, we don't have circuits because we don't have enough copper. And we don't have coal. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll stick some... Get some plates out of there. We will get this furnace working again. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 arms. Plus more for... Now, do we need to take them off this? I feel like storing them in a chest at the moment is a useful strategy, but then at the same time, as we use automators, I suppose they're just going to go off and get taken off to automate stuff. Okay, so have we got enough arms now? Yeah, fantastic. So we need to power you, power you, power you, and power you. Then we need to... you could just go into there. Again, there'll be efficiency people out there who are just dying at this. But we're learning, and it's fun. Learning is fun. Okay, let's get that into a chest. Although I think that arm's probably going to be working a bit hard. Now, I think later on I'm going to unlock... I did see that there was a blue arm which works a lot faster, and I think there's a way of it picking up multiple items. So again, hopefully that's the case and we can learn that later on. Now, because we've got far more furnaces going now, we're not getting steel going down the line. So let's stick another miner or two on this production line so that we can get more iron on the way. Where's that gone? There it is. Okay, and how many is this going to pick up? 17k? 11k. Again, I don't think it matters all that much at the moment because we've got an abundance. And yeah, that seems to be fine. Let's stick another one on here. I will work out the ratios and stuff as we go, but at the moment, I just need to get more of everything produced. Which I know, arguably, you know, efficiency, you get more produced for more bang for your bucks, probably more important in the early game, but I just want to spam belts and get stuff made. Okay, now this seems to be going okay. I think these 3 arms are for one chest, so that shouldn't overload it, but I don't think these have even started consuming yet. So, but the coal situation is good. As long as I remember to keep on emptying these. Oh, maybe I emptied it. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so let's get some science on the way. So, automation, we need 10 science packs. Science packs. For those, we need... okay, copper. So let's get some copper going then, because at the moment we are getting it into this little chest, but not really all that automated. Now, can we bring the copper production down here? Set up a line of furnaces on this side. Take off that belt. No, because then we'd have to feed the copper onto this belt. No, let's think. How are we going to do this? I'll probably end up editing out my stupid thought processes as well, because I don't think very well, clearly. So, if we had a row of miners that went into furnaces, we could just get plates straight from the furnace, like Skyo has suggested in the comments. That would work fine. This is never going to run out. This is going to keep running out of coal, so we could do with putting a line to it from coal. Now, I could, I suppose, split off here when we get splitters and bring some coal up to this, which would automate that process into a chest. But ideally, I'd like a belt similar to this, where we're going to get a belt of copper, so that when we come to have the automation machines, we can feed them straight with copper. Now, it's a shame that coal isn't going onto the other side of this belt, because then we could have just... No, that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Okay. research. We need a lab. Lab, we've got loads of that stuff. Let's get a few. Now, see, this is a little bit, not frustrating, but I suppose this is something that I could do better down in this corner. There's so much stuff that has to be made in advance that actually making the labs takes twice as long as it could. And really, I suppose when we get some automation on the way and start picking this stuff up, then we won't have to make everything in the hand. Now, let's get some of these labs placed. Now, I don't want to build anything that's going to frustrate me later with its placement, but I do know that I am going to have to keep on putting things in the science labs. So I might just stick these in an open space over here, and then when I start automating the production of packs, then they can all get lines fed to the research places. So let's put it up here. Like you see, these at the bottom of the queue now. What am I going to do about this copper production? I mean, we can just take them straight out of that chest. Or we could just have that feed onto a belt at the moment, and then the belt would slowly start to accrue. But then we'd have to run along it to pick it up, because we don't really need it yet. I think we'll do copper production once we get the first automator done, and then we can start automating things like copper wire, and then there's going to be a purpose for it to sit on a belt. At the moment, there doesn't really seem to be much of a purpose for it to sit on a belt. So let's take this across a bit further. Okay, perfect. And let's get some of this on the way. Now I know that these can feed packs to each other. So I'll leave a space for an arm in case I want to do that. Nope. Yeah, okay. And let's bring this power down. Now again, my gridding is going to be a bit awful to start off with, but please do forgive me. Okay, so we've got science here. Now we need to make those science packs by hand, I suppose, for the first 10. Gears. I think gears seem to be really, really important. So we are going to make take maybe one of these off and put them straight into gears. I saw that there was a splitter, so I get the feeling that with a splitter you can half everything that's on the belt. You can also prioritize each side. So I suppose with the splitter I can just take half of this off, and then if I wanted to put another splitter on, so then I've got 2 lines of quarters. And if I just keep on upping this production up here, I should be able to just have as many belts as I want with splitters. At least that seems logical to me. But it might not be. Okay guys, so I got a little carried away and hadn't realised how long I'd actually been recording for. So that means 2 things. One, I've got enough footage to release another video fairly soon after this one, so that's great if you've enjoyed this video. But it does mean that I'm going to end this episode here. Now the next video will carry on from exactly where we are now. I don't want to be putting out 1 or 2 hour long videos, so I'm going to keep them all roughly about this time from now on in the series. So if you are still here, please do sub and hit the notification bell if you want to see when I upload the next video. And if not, just leave a comment down below. It really does help the channel out. I'd love to hear from you guys. And it's something that, you know, I am very keen on doing, and I will be responding to all of the comments there. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next episode.